Hi, everyone. Welcome to Relatively Sane. I am so excited for my guest today because I just adore him. I know everyone adores him, but like, there's just this. I feel like you have this connection with everyone, so it's a little annoying.
No.
But anyway, Ian Fidance is here. Why don't you just say hi first?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me, Jessica.
I'll always have you on anything I do, and you know that.
You're the best.
We're doing an audio recording and video, so some people will be listening to this, some people will be watching it, and some people will be doing both because they're stalkers.
Yes.
I'm itching my
Stalking.
eye. There's a lot of things going on where if I'm itching or I have allergies. I don't have the V.
Mm-hmm.
I have allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have two questions before we go any further. Explain to people why you're wearing a shirt that says Sigourney Weaver.
Well, I really love Ghostbusters, and I really love the idea of being possessed by something else, mainly love, because I'm addicted to it. So I really relate to her character, Dana Barrett in Ghostbusters, but she's one of my favorite actresses, and I pulled it out of my drawer to put it on because I'm waking up early, I'm showering.
You
I'm
are?
Yes.
That's good.
I'm trying to keep a normal schedule and not be in sweatpants all day. And I'm really, really trying, Jessica.
I think that's a very smart idea. And from you saying that, it actually motivates me to do that.
Oh,
And I
good.
think most people are waking up and throwing sweatpants on and just eating bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I made myself, I wanted to get up today and do, let me tell you, this Corona is the best thing to happen to me. I'm getting up. I'm grocery shopping. I'm making breakfast. I've cut back on cigarettes. I'm only at 3 a day. I'm
what?
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
big
riding
deal
my
for
bike.
you.
Huge deal. Huge deal.
Huge.
Yeah.
How
I was,
many packs? You were having like 2 packs a day, right?
I was at a pack and a half. And if I totally go cold
You
turkey,
should
I
you
get
should say it was 14 packs a
I
day
was
just to make it sound better.
I was at 35 and a half. But if I cut completely out of cigarettes, I get sick. So I gotta smoke a little
Mhm.
to keep it in my body so I don't get sick. And
Mhm.
I've been taking my temperature every hour on the hour rectally. And so things
With what? Like a
a
bat?
man's
Not
penis. Henry, does it feel warm?
Henry.
No, it's really
I
like
think you have a temperature.
in my case it's like
is burning up.
DeMarcus or Keyshawn.
Yeah, I know. You're into that.
I'm into the brothers.
I know. I want to talk to you about all of this.
Yeah.
So, listen. First of all, Ian and I are very good friends. I mean, I've had
Yes.
people on the podcast that I think are great and I respect, but you're a friend, which is
You're a
I don't
sweetheart.
I don't call everyone a friend. Tell people. Let's talk about where you grew up. You grew up in Delaware.
Yes.
Now,
Wilmington, Delaware.
how many siblings?
None.
Right, only child.
Only child.
And
The golden
parents,
child. I was the first boy born in my family on like either side.
that
So
is.
yeah, I was a little god boy.
So were you treated like that growing up?
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, it was, and I think that's kind of what fucked me up later is that whole idea of like never living up to whatever. And there was like jealousy with like my mom's side of the family because I got more attention from my grandparents than the other one did.
Mhm.
Like my grandfather was when I was younger, my cousin was 6 years older than me, and all I ever wanted her to do was love me, and she just never did. And she was like perfect, straight A's, varsity sports, whatever. And
Mhm.
I was like a really like wild kid. And so my grandfather was holding me and he had my dog on the leash and my cousin was riding her bike. And almost at the same time, my cousin fell off her bike. And when he went to get her, he let go of the leash and the dog ran away and he rerouted to get the dog because he knew how upset I would
My
be,
God.
and my cousin's laying on the ground sobbing, and he's like, "Ah, she'll get over it." So that was kind of the dynamic, you know.
Yes. And then you were blamed for that.
Yes, yes.
So your parents, did they have a good marriage? Were you like, was it a happy household?
Yeah, I mean, I had like an idyllic childhood in the sense of, my dad went to work and would work overtime for us, and then he would come home, and he was very like strict, and like when I come home, we are spending time together, and we're gonna eat together.
Mm.
And on the weekends, there's no TV. You're up in the morning for karate. You get your homework done when you come home in the morning. You're only allowed to watch, like ESPN while you eat your breakfast. And but I just have these memories of like him coming home and the door opening, the dog running out, me running into his arms. All the
Mhm.
neighborhood kids would come over and play football with us, and he would be like all-time quarterback. His name was John, and everybody loved John, and
Mhm.
he was just beloved by everyone. And my mom was too. My mom still is to this day, and it was a really, really nice childhood. And unfortunately, my dad died when I was 8, and that just put like a record screech on everything
Yeah.
to
Oh,
where it
so
just
hard.
nobody came around the house anymore.
Oh.
Family was just completely disconnected. We didn't see certain members of the family for like 15 years. It was just like a mess. It was a total mess. So all that like stability and everything I had went away in like a heartbeat.
Mhm.
And being an only child, it was very strange. I had no one to be like, "Hey, mom's losing it, huh?"
Yeah. And
Um,
as a boy, I would assume, like, I don't know, this is generalizing, but I'm assuming that you weren't encouraged to like express yourself and go talk to other guys about it. I mean, you probably kept a ton to yourself.
well, I kept a ton to myself because as a kid, you realize, oh, if I get upset, everyone around me cries. That
Mhm.
doesn't feel good. And then it's this weird thing. I've tried to talk about it on stage, but it's really tough. That's why I admire you because you're so good at talking about like dark things and everything. But it's like when you tell someone, I never would tell anyone my dad was dead, but
Mhm.
people would find out like, "Where's your dad?" And be like, "Oh, he died." "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." "Oh God, oh that must have been," and then I'm consoling you.
That's exact. Oh my god. I think it's so. Oh my god, my headphones just fell off. I think it's so interesting what you just said. It's so interesting to me because I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now because as you know, and I talk about, my daughter has heart disease. It's not good. It's bad. She needs more surgeries. And I always feel bad telling people that because of how sad they get. And I'm like,
Yeah,
why am I worrying about everyone else when I'm the one who has to deal with it? But it is
yeah,
true. I'm like, they're like, she'll be okay, right? And I'm like, no, like she might not. I mean, she's okay right now, but
yeah,
she has major problem. Well, it's just like a hole in the heart. I'm like, no, it's not. She
yeah.
has major valve. She needs replacements, and so I get it so much. That must have been really frustrating.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't, like my dad would write me a letter every day before he went to work.
Oh.
And I was born 30 days premature. I wasn't supposed to live. I was in an incubator for like a month. And he wrote me a letter every single day I was in the hospital. And, he loved my mom, but it was like
Mhm.
so completely obvious that she was kind of secondary to what. And
Mhm.
he and I had a really, really close relationship. And there was a lot of resentment there for a while, with no fault of anyone's. And, it took me a long time to really kind of understand the reaction to death and how it completely like, I mean, it's like a strike of lightning in the
Mhm.
ground. Like it hits a tree and the tree will never be the same again. It splits.
I
It's
know.
done. And that's what it is. And it took, I mean, it'll be 27 years in May, so it took
Wow.
over 2 decades for me to come to this realization of like dropping the resentment and the anger and the frustration and the pity and the sadness that ruled my life. Um, and I learned to forgive people in my life for leaving and for treating me the way they did. And that's just what it is,
Because
and
truly, the people do the best they can. I mean, it's
yeah,
very hard to understand that, especially
yeah,
when you're younger. But our parents, I always say, like, I have to look at what my parents came from and how they were treated and what they were
yeah,
taught because you're
yeah.
clueless. You don't even know what you're doing, most people,
No,
when you.
I mean my grandmother. I grew up with a grandmother telling me not to touch myself because it makes a baby Jesus cry. Like that's the kind of information my mom was getting as
I
like
know.
a kid and an adult that was being like brought on to me. So it's like consider the source. God bless my
Yeah.
grandma. She just wanted me to. And maybe she was telling me that because yes, she did walk in on me watching Spice Channel jerking off a lot as a child. So
To a
who
black man.
knows?
I know. Yeah.
But I think I'm really grateful because my mom and I have gotten to a place where like we didn't talk for a while. It was like a bad and that's like I'm very open and honest about everything, and that's like the one thing that I'm like I can't. So I'm not going to go into it, but it it was a really difficult thing, and I'm just very grateful that when I went home to surprise her at Christmas, and we both cried and hugged each other and admitted for like the first time how truly fucked up our lives were and how we spent the entire time trying to prove to each other that it wasn't, you know.
Right. You're in
That
denial.
that
Oh,
whole
that's a
thing of
dangerous
it's
thing.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's
People
okay. I
it's
know
okay.
families where everything is not talked about, a secret. People are in denial. You push it under the rug, and it just never goes away. I mean, it'll just keep coming back until the day where you can and
Yeah.
decide to deal with it.
Yeah. But in talking to my mom, we talked about that day, and we
Hmm.
never talked about that. And I heard from her
Wow.
perspective what she went through when she got that call and having to go to the hospital, and it it really just my heart breaks for her, and I'm just so grateful that our relationship has gone to like a friendship level that has never existed before, and that has only happened because of my rigorous honesty with her, where I would hide things from her and she would hide things from me. So honesty has played like a huge
Hmm.
role in the mending of the fabric of our relationship. And I'm just grateful for that, for whatever happened in the past. I've spent my whole entire life obsessing about the past, and now that things have been going so good for me, I found I'm obsessing about the future, and that's stressing me out.
I
And the
know.
hardest thing to do is to stay present
Hmm.
and in gratitude for what's going on. So that's like something like my brain will be like, "Nee," and I got to like grab it and put it back.
I deal with that constantly. It's exactly my story.
Yeah.
I don't think about the past too much,
Hmm.
but I think about the future a lot, especially when I'm in fear and just it's very, very hard. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
So you obviously your father, the situation, it was sudden.
Yeah.
He wasn't sick. That's oh my god, I've dealt with it. I mean, not with a parent, but with a step
Yeah.
sibling, with other things. It's just unreal when it happens.
Yeah. I mean, he left for work and he didn't come home. And it was a, it was like a freak accident. And, it's also a weird thing of like, and I'm just now starting to talk about it on stage to make it like funny, but of like it changes you so much that like nobody really wants to be around the kid that wakes up with night terrors. It
mm-hmm.
kind of gets in the way of like your sleepovers. you know
Oh yeah.
you know
Do you still deal with that, with night terrors and stuff like that?
no,
That's good.
that stopped, but it was just this constant fear of everyone around me dying, like
Exactly.
to this day I still, if my mom doesn't answer her phone, it goes to death. And
Mm-hmm.
that has been like something I can't get over, but it's just and everything that I hated about my life for so long, I've gotten to a point where I can be thankful for. Like I can be thankful and like I said, my dad wrote me letters every day. I have those. They're sitting in my closet right now.
Wow.
And I found his old journals when he was um 20 in his 20s. So I've gotten to know him through death in a way that I wanted all my life of like I want to know this guy is like a dude, is like who he is, who he was, not just like a father,
Mm-hmm.
and I have and a lot of the music I listened to I found mixtapes that he recorded records on and I would listen and then look up the lyrics and then get into that band. So he's
Oh, that's
had
so cool.
an
Yeah.
everlasting effect on my life through death that I know not many people have. So
Mm-hmm.
and today I realize how fortunate I am.
I understand, and this is all because you've been doing a lot of work on yourself,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, I mean
completely.
that this is the only way you get to that point is if you do the work. There's no other way around it. So
Yeah,
when you were a teenager, I would assume that you acted out and started partying and doing.
yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that an understatement?
Oh my God. I mean, the first cigarette I smoked, I was like 11
Yeah.
in my garage with my babysitter while we were watching Scream.
Oh my God. Right.
Yeah. Like I was such a bad kid. My mom would convince me to behave with the promise of a cigarette if I behaved well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're good at,
Okay.
if you're good at my boyfriend's family's house, I'll give you a cigarette
Do you
afterwards.
talk about that on stage? That's hysterical. It's
No, but I
very funny.
should.
It's a great premise.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
I don't know where to take it other than like the carrot on the stick was literally cancer. Like maybe that was the
You're
long con
yeah,
of
you were
these.
11. She's like, "I'll let you drive on the highway if you just smile at the next family event."
If you stay quiet during this dinner, I got a prostitute waiting for you at home. Now I know
Yeah.
your Uncle Joey has legitimately bought you hustlers when you were in sixth grade, but I'll make it the real deal.
I love that you said hustlers.
Oh
That's such
yeah,
a
my
great word.
my uncle bought me hustlers. It was nuts.
Nuts. In
Nuts.
6th grade?
Sixth grade.
What?
And this motherfucker used to run numbers for the mafia in Wilmington, and he would do these gambling numbers, and he got me involved to print out the numbers for him. And one day
Wow.
my printer didn't work, and he got so fucked on money that he like relapsed, got drunk, and fucking took all his losing money anger out on me. It was
Oh
a
my
mess.
God. That's all you needed.
Oh, Jessica, I made such a cute little whipping post. It was just beautiful. You know, it was great.
Yeah, life is not easy.
No, it's not. And here's the thing I get stuck with, and I don't know if you can relate, but because life is such a fucking slog of just constant shit thrown your way,
Yeah.
do you ever go, well, I know I'm getting shit thrown my way, but some people get real stinky shit.
Yeah.
And that's like do you minimize your own experiences by going,
Constantly.
well, it's at least we have this and everyone else has it
I
so
know.
much worse. And is that good or does that make you not deal with everything head on? And if you deal
Both
with it
for
head
me.
on, how do you not feel sorry for yourself?
Both for me. There's times when I can only get through the day when I think, oh my God, at least Isabella's alive and I've seen
Yeah.
kids die. I mean, I've seen horrible things,
Yeah.
or at least I have had this in my career. And then there's times when I'm like, I just start thinking, my God, you never even think about all this shit, and it's really on your mind, and you're just not
Yeah.
looking at it or dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. I don't know. I think it's just case by case. I really do.
Yeah, but then you look at like paraplegics or quadriplegics
Mhm.
that walk around. Well, they're not walking, but you
You see people with no legs running around, and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. You
well,
see these no-legged motherfuckers running. And you're like, how do they, I mean, are they just rolling around going, well, at least I have a nose, like,
I think they do.
how do they stay grateful?
I don't know. I'm telling you, sometimes the people in the worst shape are the most grateful, positive people.
I know.
A lot of
that's what I need to
times.
work on.
I know. Well, maybe I need my legs taken away, and then I'll just be grateful for the first time. I could just be like, well,
yeah.
It's not easy. It's not. So what? So you started doing drugs and dealing with things that way, which I did too around that age.
Well, yeah.
And then what about like, because you say you're a love addict? I know. I have to tell you, one of my reasons I respect you so much and really adored you from day one is how honest you are. Because have you ever been in a relationship with a man or just hooked up with men?
Well, I had a secret, I wouldn't call it a relationship, but I had a secret sexual thing with a guy from like 11, 12 to like 24.
Really?
Yeah, but that was filled with a lot of Catholic guilt, and like,
oh yeah,
the second we would come, it'd be like, "Get away from me, faggot!" Like that kind of thing, And I remember I would get drunk and be like, "Can I sleep over?" Or I would call him like, "Baby," and he would be like, "Baby, I'm not fucking gay," and I'd be like, "Neither am I, dude."
that's
Kidding.
so common.
Yeah.
I know. You're like, "Can you hold me?" And he's like, "Hold you? Suck my dick or get the fuck out." And you're like,
Yeah.
Suck it. No, don't hold me.
Yeah, I'm like blowing him and like, "Do you watch the football game?" Straight things, Just two straight
You blow
guys.
him, and once he comes, you pound fist each other.
I've done that at a glory hole on 21st and 8th. I didn't know what else to do to thank the guy.
That place is open now.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Who the hell is hooking up on Grindr now?
A lot of people, but I'm telling you, people are going to go out of their minds being home and not having physical contact. And I don't know how you're eating, but I've eaten my furniture. I'm going to have to go buy furniture after this whole thing is over. I'm not going to even be able to fit in my house. I'm only going to be able to fit in like open spaces, like a foyer. I can't stop eating. And I have been I've been a moose. Like when people can get sad or get upset about what I'm saying, but it's true. I have been where I could buy 7 seatbelts on a plane. Not even 2. Like 2 rows. I have to buy 2 rolls. I can split.
Single passenger planes with Jessica Kirson.
Yeah. I used to tell a funny story about once I did a tiny plane. It was the size of like a paper plane to go to a college. And this fat, I don't care. You can judge. Don't send me a fucking letter. I can barely open my eyes at this point. But this fat stewardess, flight fucking attendant, whatever they're called now. What's the PC thing?
Retards.
Midget. Okay, this retarded midget comes up to me and she's like, "You want a crayon?" No, I'm joking. This crying
and sweating.
We represent the Helmet Club. She had to walk. Oh, my manager's phone is ringing in his house. This is hello.
He's like, "Jessica, you gotta stop. You said retard midget. You gotta."
I know. Can you imagine? He's calling down to be like, "Can you please not say that? I'm trying to get you work." So she had to walk sideways. That's how heavy she was, which I do too in some houses in Queens because they're so narrow. But she had to walk sideways, and she literally there were I think 5 people on the plane. I'm talking. I don't know if you've ever been on one of those planes. They're the size of a Tonka truck. They're tiny. She walks sideways and she's like, "Do you have your seatbelt on?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Let me see." Can you believe she did that to me? It wasn't I. There was a foot in between.
Yeah.
The buckle and the whatever the fuck it's called. Not even like 5 inches. It was literally like this much room. I couldn't get it. And she's like, show me. I'm like, what? Like, fuck you. You're fat. Why are you doing this to me? You know how it feels, you fucking house. So she made me lift up my fucking jacket. And it showed that. And she's like, I needed to check that. Let me get you an extender. Like, she did this to me. Who does that to someone who deals with the same thing?
She was projecting.
In front of everyone.
She was
It was
projecting.
unbelievable. I'll never forget that.
She was projecting.
I know. It's
I'm so
it was
sorry.
so embarrassing. I mean, it's hilarious now. But it was embarrassing. So back to Dick. So you what I love about you is how honest you are. I mean, it's one of the things. And that you talk about being bi. Now, you're currently with a woman. The people are so dumb.
Yeah.
Okay? They just generalize. It's like, I just want to say before you explain this, I didn't come out for a while because I didn't want to be seen as a lesbian, because I had been with guys too.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said I can't say I would never be with a man again.
Mm-hmm.
I used to say this for years because I don't feel that way. I just couldn't fall in love with a man.
Yeah.
I could be sexual with a man.
Well,
when did you realize that? I mean, like, when did you come to in your 20s?
No, I mean, Jessica, I really appreciate you saying the thing about being honest, and I really try to live my life as honestly as possible, faults, whatever, because I kept that so hidden for my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell anyone about it until I was 32.
Wow.
And it totally was a thing I thought I would take to the grave, and I thought I would die and no one would know. And it was a thing of like deep fear again of, everyone left me when I was 8. Nobody showed up except for my mom and like my grandfather. And I was so afraid of being left again. And I was so afraid of, having this thing that I couldn't control be the thing that makes everyone go away. So I just kept it inside. I hid it. I didn't tell anyone, friends in high school would take my in college would take my cell phone, and they would do it as a prank just to see me flip out, because I would I was like the Tasmanian devil trying to get it back because I was so afraid they'd see another man's penis on my phone.
No, I know. I was in a secret relationship with my first girlfriend for years, and it was horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific. I was not okay during that time.
It's really tough. And so I try to be honest about it. And there's a balance between being honest and exploitative, but, and I think we all struggle with that. Am I being honest and open about this, or am I, exploiting this aspect of my life? And that's whatever. But I found so much freedom in honesty. Like I said, with my mom, when I told her, she cried, because she said, I always knew there was a sadness about you. And I could never figure it out. And I had to act and behave in a way that was, I always had the hottest girls. I always, was a fucking poon hound,
Well, see, that's my thing. I know some guys who fuck a different girl. I mean, not that is what it is. Like, just every day, every other day. Like, and a lot of times people will say, I think they're gay, or I think they're bi. And I'm like, really? But they're so into women.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm so into women, but I'm also into that instant gratification of the sexual act and everything it brings.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
I am addicted to that feeling, whether it's with a woman, a man, a trans woman, my hand. It's like I am addicted to that feeling. And also, if you want to talk about honesty and being candid, I didn't find alcohol until later in life as a release to this feeling of the escape. But what I did find, and I found the Spice Channel at my grandparents' house when I was 8, like 3 weeks before my dad died, and I started masturbating. And when he died, because of my Catholicism, I thought it was my fault.
Oh,
and that God was
oh
punishing
God,
me.
that's so horrible, but I really understand it. But
And
that is,
I couldn't tell anyone about it.
yeah, it's horrible.
So, but I knew that the effect of what masturbating gave me made me forget and made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So I used masturbation as a kid and through adulthood as my drug and escape.
Mm-hmm.
So that set in motion my escape of like find sex, find a release, find drugs, find alcohol, you know. And that was really the thing that got me, like, thank God for jerking off, because it got me through to make me I remember just being so depressed and jerking off just so I'd feel better for a second. And then you feel that shame, so you got to do it again. And as a Catholic growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone telling you, well, your dad's with you now. These stupid motherfuckers, I had an aunt that was like, he's in a better place now. I'm like, better place, bitch. We were supposed to go to baseball practice today.
Yeah,
Like,
what's a
fuck
better place?
you.
That's the dumb. I'm sorry, no offense, but that is the dumbest thing. If it's a sudden thing that happened, what does it mean a better place?
But again, nobody knows. You don't
They
know what
don't
to
know what to
say.
say. They don't know what to say. I deal with it constantly, and I need to be more compassionate with that
Yeah,
because people really don't know what to say,
they
especially when
don't.
you lose a parent or a kid, or your kid is
What
sick, or your parent's sick, or whatever.
what in your case, what do you say to a child in the hospital?
It's horrific.
It's horrific
Yeah,
for
it's
everyone involved.
it's horrible.
Yeah, it's
Now it
so
was easier
tough.
when she was a baby, but now she's 4.5. So it's
Yeah.
even like in May, she's supposed to have a nuclear test. So she has to be put under. I have to go in the room. I mean, again, people don't want to hear this, but this is what I have to do. I've had to do it many, many, many times. I have to
Yeah.
cover myself. My wife has to cover herself in all the gear, all the
Mhm.
stuff, and put a mask on her face. And she's screaming. It's horrible.
Now,
Horrible. There's nothing I can.
is that because of her heart condition or because you guys are Hasidic?
Well, we are Hasidic. We are. We scissor through a sheet. I actually started wearing a burqa, so I don't really know what I am right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll become Hasidic or Orthodox, and I'll just cover myself and live the laws and shame people. I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know. I wanted to throw a joke in there. I'm sorry if it put a snag in
No, are
the
you kidding?
conversation.
Now, my favorite thing to do is joke about shit like
Yeah.
this. This is the best thing ever. So when Danielle and I were in the hospital, in the children's hospital, it's horrible when you're just sitting there at night in the waiting room. You have to sleep on dirty couch. I mean, it's everyone's just sitting there. Their kids are all in ICU.
Stale coffee.
Horrific. Stale coffee,
The
Jello.
sounds.
It's
that fucking
Ian,
beeping and booping.
Ian, that was the worst. It's been the worst part every time. My anxiety is so insane during that time.
Mhm.
But
That
anyway, there was
smell. Oh,
oh,
yeah.
it's horrible. And there were Orthodox women there that would sit with us, and on Shabbat, they'd have to have their breast pumps put on. And I'm Jewish, so I couldn't do it. So they'd have Danielle turn their breast pumps on because she's not Jewish. I mean, it's just insane.
That's ridiculous.
Right. So
That's
she would,
amazing.
and then eventually she just started sucking their breasts, and they didn't even use a pump. And then she spit the milk into the babies' faces.
It's Shabbat. I can't turn it on.
I figured, why even use this? We should just have a dyke suck it out.
So, yeah. So I get it. So the fact that you're honest about it, because there's so many guys and so many girls that are living a life and doing things where they think it's so shameful and they're afraid to tell the truth, and it kills you. It kills you inside. What
Yeah.
would you say to people? Like, what if someone said to you, I really want to tell people I'm living with this secret, because secrets, you're only as sick as your secrets. I mean, we
Yeah.
all have them, but you're only as sick as your secrets.
Oh, yeah.
So what would you tell someone to do? Like, what would be your advice to someone?
I mean, I get messages so often.
Tell
and
me
people
about
come up
that. What do people say
after
to you?
shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you get the same with how
Yeah.
honest and open you are and how you take the darkest, most fucked up things and you make them funny and you level a room with your pain. And I mean, like, you know, seeing you work has just helped me so much to get to that level of like trying it, to go for it. And because you can see it's fucking possible, you know, and people come up to me and, you know, it's so because of how secretive that conversation is, you know, they'll be like, dude, that was so funny. Can I talk to you? And I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Oh,
And they're like, you know, I blew my friend in college, and if you tell anyone, I'll kill you. And I'm
I
like,
know, but it's so good that they're even saying they probably
yeah.
never told anybody. Do you
I mean,
realize how amazing that is?
I used to look up books in the library about psychology to see if other boys fooled around with boys when they were in grade school and were like
Oh,
not gay. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and it is such a high rate of exploring your sexuality with
yeah.
other boys, other guys your age. And then it's this feeling of like, and I don't know where it comes from, this feeling of like shame and anger and disdain. And I feel like a lot of this conversation of like toxic masculinity and everything is truly just like anytime a guy gets rejected and he's like, that fucking bitch, oh, I
Mhm.
bet she's a fucking lesbian, oh, you know, it's them having to get that conquest of a woman, or else they're gay because they
Mhm.
did a gay thing when they were younger and they have to erase it, you know,
It's so
like
sad.
when I was younger and I would fool around with a guy,
Mhm.
immediately I had to go fuck a woman or be with a woman to undo the gayness. I would look at gay porn, and right before I would come, I'd switch to straight porn.
Wow.
You know, so
Fascinating. It's
it's
fascinating.
this it's and I know I'm not the only one.
No, I
I
know.
know I'm not
Yeah.
the only one. And I would say, if this is your life, find someone that you're comfortable with, find someone you can talk to and tell them. Let it pour out of you and get to a point where you feel comfortable enough to accept it, and then, you know, talk to your other friends and stuff about it. But
It's okay, by the way. It's
it's
really like
okay.
it's
It's
so common.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
That is my mantra of literally what I say out loud all the time is it's okay. It's okay. You're here. It's okay. And like, because for so long I thought it wasn't okay. I thought it wasn't fine. I thought it was
Mhm.
bad. I thought it was the wrong thing. And ever since I've been outwardly honest about it, my relationships have flourished, and
Yeah.
I've had wonderful people gravitate towards me in the sense of like just that idea of like being honest and living truthfully, like
Because you
living
don't
in
have the
truth.
secrets, right?
And
They're
and I feel so cheesy saying that because of how overdone that whole like I'm just living my truth, you know, has
Yeah, but it's
become.
real. I mean, I'm not saying you have to word it like that, but
It
you
is
we are
real.
only as sick as our secrets. And again,
Yes.
there's no judgment. I have them. You know, I'll
Yes.
eat and not tell anyone or whatever it is.
Yes.
And but there is a whole level of sexuality. I don't think people really understand that. A lot of people that
No.
most of us are on some.
Well, that's what pisses me off, because everyone is shoving this idea that there's 47, 78 fucking genders, that we all have to all of a sudden be like, yeah, I knew this all along. Everything's fine. This is totally not weird. But then to be like, well, I think there's like a spectrum of like gay to straight, and I think we fall somewhere in the
Yeah,
middle.
everybody.
People are like, what are you, a fucking faggot?
Right.
No,
Yeah. You
you
either
know.
some people never have thought about it, and some gay people I know have never thought of being with someone from the opposite sex, literally
But
ever.
but that blows my mind, because how can you not let your mind wander?
Well,
Like,
I get it.
how
I
can you
don't
not
know.
be
I
in a
think
locker
some
room?
people are just they're just born. I mean, I know some people like our friend Danny Cohen. I don't think Danny's ever thought I want to be with a woman. I mean, it's just and I can
Right.
see it.
He's never thought I want to be with a woman, but he's never thought about like a woman naked.
Probably.
How do you not see people on the street and go, I wonder what they look like naked?
Right.
You
It's
know?
just a curiosity thing
I
or
don't know. And
yeah,
maybe I'm different because I've always been curious,
I
and
am like that too.
and I've always like wondered, and what is this like? What is that? And again, like I've had to try everything to figure out I don't like it. That's just for better or worse. And I mean, yeah, I guess there are gay people or straight people that have never had those thoughts, but that just blows my mind that they've never like, but maybe I'm wrong for just sitting reading a book and being like, I wonder what semen tastes like, you know?
I know. It goes to a sexual place. There's a lot people like that. It's just
Yeah.
that's common too.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now you're in a relationship
Hmm.
with a woman,
Hmm.
which we did not expect. I mean, I had been talking to you through this whole thing, and it's like,
I know. It's really blindsided me. Um, and it I don't know, man. It's like something clicked. And I think in my search and like acting out sexually, I've wanted some form of companionship and it just hasn't like clicked.
mhm,
And in having someone come over every night, uh, and a big part of this is my narcissism. I never want to leave my apartment. I want to go to work, come home to my place. If I have to go to your place in fucking Harlem or like, Murray Hill or something,
mhm.
it ain't gonna work. So if you come
You
to me,
like being in your own home.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
habit, creature of habit. And this girl would come over every night when I was done work. We get done our sets so late. You're
Mhm,
still fired up. You want to hang. You come home,
mhm,
you want to work on your project. So she would come over when she was done hanging with her friends, not even drinking or going out to like
mhm.
a hookah bar because she's Muslim. And, she
She's
would,
gorgeous. I
yeah,
mean, beyond gorgeous.
she ticks off every box
Yeah.
for me sexually, emotionally, but I didn't open myself up to that emotional thing, and neither did
Mhm,
she until after we found this like groove of like this weird routine. It was almost
mhm,
like a routine, and I really kind of liked that. I lack routine in my life. Like I
mhm.
told you, when I was younger, my dad had a routine for me, and the second he died, that went out the window for better or worse. My mom was like, "Stay up and watch TV with me till 3 a.m. on a school night." I was like, "All
Mhm.
right."
Yeah.
But I've craved routine and I fell into a weird routine with her where it wasn't a thing of, so are you coming to my place? Are you ba 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 ba? It was just she comes over, we have sex, we talk, obviously, and then in the morning we have sex. She goes to work, I go to work, I go to my coffee shop, I go to radio, I whatever. And it was the same thing every night. And I was like, huh, I kind of like that. And then once we dropped that emotional thing and was like, this is so lame, but after like a week or two of just this very like sexual thing, we were laying in bed. She's like, okay, so if I'm coming over every night, you're gonna get to know me. What's your favorite color? And I was like, what? And we just started like talking about
Yeah.
stuff like that. And it just kind of went into this thing of like, and then one night she goes, uh, we've been sleeping together for a while and you owe me some honesty. Have you fucked anyone else? And I was like, yeah, I did. And she goes, okay, you're never going to see me again, but just know we should have had a conversation about this. We didn't. We're not on the same page. And that's not what I'm looking for. And I was like, you little bitch, what are
Yeah,
you?
you didn't even know.
No. So then I told her, I was like, well, good luck finding dick like this elsewhere. Ba-bam. And we ended up talking a couple days later. And my whole thing of like, I want to do what I want. I want to fucking suck. That kind of went out the window. And I kind of really want to be like monogamous. So I panicked and was like, okay, come to a wedding with me in North Carolina. And she did. And she's been meeting all my friends and they love her.
Oh,
And
I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
yeah, and we traveled really well together. And it's like the second I opened myself up to like trying to get to know, because you know me, I was kind of into that other girl,
Mhm.
but that was so chaotic that's the addict in me that seeks that chaos, that
Yes.
seeks that uncertainty,
It's
that
hard to let
seeks
that
that,
go.
yeah.
It
And
is.
with Saher, which is her name, it's so uh wonderfully easy. It's so comfortable and like not hard, which I think relationships shouldn't be hard
Hmm.
within the first month of hanging out. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. People are like, "Oh, I just started dating. We're in the biggest fight." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Bye. Like, run,
Yeah.
because it's
But
not going to get easier."
I feel bad because, I was so excited that I was, going around town with this hot little number that I was like, hey, look how hot she is. And now she's my beloved. And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have bragged about how hot she was. I
Oh,
feel
that's okay. That's
like
a
I
guy
betrayed
thing.
trust.
No, it's okay.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about you is because you're so much like a guy. You get
Yeah,
it.
I
Like
totally get
I
it.
remember you were like, God, I want to see your fucking snatch. And I was like, yeah, yeah. Just
Well,
hanging out.
everyone shows me pictures of the women, all these male comics. It's the
Yeah.
best thing ever because I'm like, it's sterile. Not if. Don't worry, I haven't seen a lot of your snatches.
Yeah. Well, it's
But
funny because I don't show a lot of, but you, I was
yeah,
like, Jess, you got, and like,
yeah, I saw an
I don't
ass.
know.
This is a nice ass. She's hot. She's hot.
Yeah, but it was fun to share that with you because you were like, oh, I fucking love it.
Of
But I was like,
course. I mean, that's
yeah,
why I know it's fun to have a girlfriend that gets it.
yes,
Yes, a
yes.
lot of guys say that to me. It's
Mhm.
true. I mean, I'm not a
Of
pig
course.
about it, but I just appreciate it and think like a man in certain ways.
Yeah.
And I totally understand it. I understand every single thing you've said. It makes
Yeah.
complete sense to me.
But on the other side of the coin, just because I'm in a relationship doesn't erase the fact that, yeah, I do get off to men. I don't
It's
know what it is
okay,
in my
right? It
brain.
doesn't matter. Meaning, I watch straight porn a lot. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't we don't have to label ourselves so much.
Yes.
It's
That's what
okay.
that's what pisses me off about the LGBT is that we shouldn't label ourselves. We should be free. But I am a non-polyamorous generated
Yeah,
computer
but that's not
man.
LGBT. That's not there
That's
you
mental
can't
illness.
well, you can't keep adding different it's just I mean you can if you want to, but I'm not listening. I it's like I get it. You can be whatever you want and I don't judge, but like eh, every it's like it's become LGBT. I mean, all the comics joke about it.
Yeah.
Q P R C. Like, and also give people a second to understand it. It's what you said in the beginning. Stop getting so aggressive and
Yeah.
angry when people don't get it.
Yeah.
It's people need a second to understand things.
Can I
And when you
can I
get
tell you?
angry, it makes people defensive and not want to learn about it.
Can I tell you?
Mhm.
We are in a global pandemic
Mhm.
under voluntary quarantine at a risk of death by breathing in someone else's air, and people cannot grasp that the severity of life currently, and they're going to beaches in Florida to go to spring break. How the fuck do you expect people to
Oh,
understand
don't even get me
the
started. I
idea of
know. I
gender
can't.
politics? Are you kidding me?
I can't take it.
Are you
I
kidding me?
I know.
So
Well, I've
so
always said people are dumb. You can. I don't care how upset you. Not everyone, but there's a
yeah.
lot of dumb people we
I
know from
want to
being
give people the
stand-ups.
benefit of the doubt, but going on the road, flyover states, you're like,
Yes, I know. It's not easy. It's
yeah.
not. A lot
And
of times I'll just say to the audience, like, you're not. A lot of you are not going to get what I'm saying because you're dumb. You're dumb people. You are not going to understand, but it's okay. And I say I can't educate you in an hour. Like I can't give you years of fucking education in one
yeah.
hour.
And what happens when you do that? You destroy because you're pulling out that thing that everyone knows. Oh yeah, I am dumb.
Yeah, the truth. They
Yeah.
all laugh because they know how stupid they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to be like that. It's
I
I
know.
I'm
And that's what makes you so great is because and I'm telling you honestly, as your friend, seeing you do these things has been like so eye-opening and everybody knows it of just how your honesty and vulnerability in that moment is so inspiring. It makes me strive to get to the point where I can do the same thing.
You have been. That's why
I have been,
But that's why you're doing so well.
and
'Cause
it's
you're
all
honest.
over.
Yeah, you're gonna die, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all for nothing. You're
Yeah.
not even gonna be able to headline anywhere.
Can I tell you? Next weekend was my first headlining weekend, and I was doing a string of headlining dates at clubs,
Oh my God, Ian!
and
I
it's all
know.
over.
It's okay. I've spent 21 years on this business, and now I'm gonna end up having to suck dick for a Cheeto.
What jobs can we get where I have been? Oh, Ian, I love how open and honest you are. Yeah, I get my dick sucked at a glory hole. Hey, can I work at your Chipotle?
Well, maybe
It ain't gonna happen.
Maybe we'll start online comedy club. Like shit, I don't know. We're gonna have to be creative. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I want to shoot a special in my living room to no one but
You
my
should.
cat and my tea kettle.
I love that.
And
Did
and
you ever see
act-
Maria Bamford's special just to her parents?
I need to watch
You
it.
need to watch that.
Yeah.
You will freak out. I laughed
Yeah.
so. It's just her parents in the living room with a piano player.
Amazing.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It really is. I believe in you. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
For-
I know
for-
it's going to be fine. I know it's going to come back. It's going to be a period of aggressive questioning and fear.
Mhm.
But as someone, and you can relate, that has lived in fear, continues to live in fear,
Yeah.
it
What's the difference?
is
Yeah.
something you can get over. It's just going to take a lot of positive self-talk.
Yeah.
And I'll just go back to my childhood. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
fine.
Everything's fine. It's all gonna be okay. Oh my God, help me.
Yeah.
I love you. Tell people where they can reach you online because your videos and your stuff. It's just. Can you give everyone the links and the
Oh, you're the
not
best.
the links that like 90? Yeah.
Can you give them your HTMLs and your GeoCities?
Where can people find you on the World Wide Web?
iAnimal on Instagram, like iPhone, but iAnimal.
Mm-hmm.
And IanFidance.com for my merch. I just put up a bunch of t-shirts and
Oh,
everything.
great.
Yeah, so I have those on sale. I'm making videos. I'm making a lot of things. I'm gonna if we don't get locked down with no travel in our apartment, next week I'm getting a film crew into my apartment, and I'm filming a special for no one.
I think
and
that's a brilliant idea.
I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna put out a Patreon, and I'm just gonna try to keep it moving. I don't know what else to do, but I do know personally, I've been getting up in the morning, making phone calls, trying to get some semblance of a schedule so I don't fall into that hole that we can very easily not climb out of. But
I think you're right to do that. I'm gonna do what you're doing. I think it's
Yeah.
a very good idea, and
I'm
it's
trying.
crucial.
yeah, but I'm actually kind of having fun with making videos and stuff, and like watching movies and kind of like making videos of that and everything. So I have a bullhorn. I'm gonna ride my bike and yell positive affirmations at people.
That's
on the street.
incredible. Can you
So-
film that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so great.
yeah,
That's really, really great.
yeah.
You should do it in a bikini.
I should do it naked. Right now is the best time to do whatever you want, because what are they gonna take away? We already lost it all.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't even have any shirts.
I've been eating my couch. That
Oh, you think I'm joking. I ate my daughter's stuffed animals because I was craving protein.
I love you.
I love you more. I'm so grateful that you did my podcast. Please, everyone, follow Ian Fidance. He's brilliant, so original. Your online contact. Oh my God, content. I'm sorry, I'm so hungry. Your online. Oh fuck. Your inline conception. Wait, what's it called? Your online content is so great, so different. You're just a beautiful person. I hope
You're a
people
sweetheart.
listen to this and really, I know a lot of you will get something out of this. And if it helps one person, with anything they've dealt with, it was worth doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you. And please, again, follow Ian Fidance. You're brilliant. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much.